to item 43. And
it's me again.
Yeah.
I'll give a minute, and as folks are clearing the room, I'll just say on the last item that we voted on, we are collecting a tremendous amount of data, and that it will be important to make sure we as a commissioner are able to review quickly and consider how that impacts future decisions. The utilities have filed or are planning to file further applications in this space, and we do want to learn from, as the President Picker noted, the relatively expensive investments that we're doing here. And so I commit to working with staff to figure out how we get that information before the commissioners on a regular basis. I'm happy to introduce item 43. This is the proposed decision approving energy efficiency business plans. This proposed decision approves the energy efficiency business plans for the 8 energy efficiency program administrators, including the 4 investor-owned utilities, 3 regional energy networks, and 1 CCA for program years 2018 through 2025, with an annual budget across all administrators of approximately $1 billion. The approval of these business plans really marks the culmination of years-long effort as the Commission to fundamentally shift the way our energy efficiency portfolios are authorized, designed, and delivered in order to achieve our state's ambitious energy efficiency goals. With SB 350 requiring that we double California's energy efficiency savings, we have to take a hard look at what changes are needed to move beyond the status quo in our energy efficiency portfolios to help us achieve these goals. Through a series of decisions in 2015 and 2016, we established the rolling portfolio cycle with changes to the way the portfolios are designed in order to spur innovation towards deeper, longer-lasting, and market transformational programs that will help achieve the state's goals. The business plans that the program administrators filed pursuant to this direction and that this decision approves allows for a complete refresh of the energy efficiency portfolios and are designed to be sufficiently flexible to accommodate changes to utility energy efficiency goals over time. This proposed decision approves a whole slate of changes meant to scale up energy efficiency while creating mechanisms to lower costs, increase innovation, and streamline business models. Specifically, the decision approves more coordinated statewide energy efficiency programs, a pathway to shifting to at least 60% of the portfolio designed and delivered by third parties, and provides direction on a process for annual budget filings to allow for ongoing touch points within the rolling portfolio cycle. Importantly, the proposed decision also requires a set of common metrics and indicators to track progress towards energy efficiency goals at the portfolio and sector level. The proposed decision sets expectations for program administrators to coordinate their efforts with each other clean energy opportunities, and to conform their portfolio with the state's overall efforts to maximize energy efficiency in disadvantaged communities. The proposed decision also establishes new metrics and to track work quality. This issue of workforce standards came up from several commenters, and I appreciate the input they've provided today, as well as on these issues throughout the proceeding. In particular on workforce standards, what the proposed decision does is it sets out a process for this year to develop a more robust record on possible workforce standards. The proposed decision initially proposed some standards. We got several pieces of feedback back that these standards may have some unintended consequences by not including all the certifications that might be relevant to ensure work quality in different areas. For example, the Cal TTP was mentioned by commenters, but there may be other certifications that can help achieve work quality standards in the lighting sector as well. Given the wide impact of workforce standards and the need to have good work quality at a reasonable cost, I think it's prudent for the Commission to do as the proposed decision directs, to issue a ruling in the near term that asks more specific questions about how to refine workforce standards and make sure that they're appropriately inclusive. I look forward to getting those comments and having that discussion with commissioners in the months to come. So I just want to mention that over the course of the year, there have been a tremendous amount of activity related to the development of these business plans. Staff and parties have participated in nearly 40 formal and informal public hearings, workshops, and cake meetings to explore topics. And approximately 7 parties participated in this proceeding, including ratepayer advocates, environmental and environmental justice organizations, energy efficiency industry, and labor representatives. I would like to thank our two judges, Julie Fitch and Valerie Cow, for their expert and thorough consideration of the scores of complex and challenging issues that are addressed in this decision. I would also like to thank Bob Strauss and all of the energy efficiency staff and energy division. I think literally every single member of that team contributed to the review and analysis of the business plans in some form, so it truly was a team effort. And finally, thank you to my advisors, Jennifer Caliphate and Shannon O'Rourke, for their hard work on this decision. So with that, I'd like to thank fellow commissioners for your interest in this topic and ask for your support in this decision.
I'll just briefly note my support for this decision. With all of our recent energy efficiency decisions, we are really moving toward a more flexible, streamlined, and goal-oriented program that's less administratively burdened. And I want to thank again Commissioner Peterman for her leadership in this area. Energy efficiency has been it's been a real success story in California in keeping customer bills down. The continued work on this proceeding is very detailed and kind of thankless sometimes. And so I just really appreciate all this work. I appreciate the decision's inclusion of disadvantaged communities in its geographic criteria for hard-to-reach customers, as well as its efforts to address the challenges of achieving cost-effectiveness under the total resource cost test, which is always a difficult issue. So I will, as I mentioned, support this decision, and thank you to staff and Judges Fitch and Gao, and for all your hard work.
I also will be supporting the decision, and wanted to just point out some of the high-level things and talk a little bit about the public comment we heard this morning on the work quality standards. First, I think it's exciting to see us transition to an increase of the portfolio being administered by third-party administrators, and really seeing the diversity grow of how we can really have more innovation that way. I was personally supportive of the original language of the work quality standards in the PD, but was certainly in working through this with Commissioner Peterman and her commitment to really look at this issue in earnest in the next few months and come up with a finalized decision on those work quality standards. I think certainly on the advanced lighting and the HVAC examples that we heard today, there's no question in my mind that we need to have those standards in place. So I look forward to continuing to work with Commissioner Peterman and the energy efficiency staff to make that decision happen this year.
I also want to say a word about the workforce standards. I think the comments, as Commissioner Guzman-Aceves pointed out, I think the comments today are well taken. In order to meet our very ambitious energy efficiency goals, we need to make sure that equipment is installed properly. We need to get the benefit of the savings in lighting controls and HVACs, and workforce quality standards is one important way to get there. Also make sure that customers realize the monetary savings that they've been promised. I don't view what we're doing now as a retreat. It's an effort to get more information to fine-tune the standards. We say the decision says that we remain interested in adopting standards of this nature. We need more information to avoid unintended consequences and to fine-tune the standards. And I also look forward to working to get those standards in place quickly in a way that could apply to third-party contracts and to the portfolio as a whole.
And I just wanted to mention one more point on the workforce standards, and I appreciate the comments from my colleagues, that what taking a little more time will help us do is make sure that any standards are consistent with the work that's happening at other state agencies. The Energy Commission under SB 350 is required to think about and develop responsible contractor standards, which would apply broadly to energy efficiency as well. So we want to make sure that we are coordinated with them, and I think taking a little bit more time will enable that. But I appreciate your support for this area and am committed to further working on it.
Thank you. I will also be supporting this agenda item. And with that, I ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Item 43, Commissioner Guzman Aceves.
Aye.
Commissioner Peterman.
Yes.
Commissioner Randolph.
Yes.
Commissioner Rescheffen.
Aye.
President Picker.
Yes.